Devin, who's your favorite DC character? Go.
Superman.
You're supposed to say a wrong answer.
Oh,
I was supposed to react.
Oh, Plastic Man.
Plastic Man's okay.
Booster Gold.
Goddamn right it is.
Batman.
Well, that's the right answer.
No,
for
it's
anybody.
not.
Yes, it is.
It's not Batman. Who's your favorite DC
Batman.
character? No, you're supposed to say the wrong answer.
Yeah, I know. I ruined the joke. Like you.
I didn't know that was a joke. I thought it was a serious question.
Out in the dark, among the stars, the god is dead.
So it's been a long journey for the last, well, almost 5 years for both DC fans, the DCEU, and Zack Snyder.
And DCEU haters.
And DCEU haters as well. It's been
And
quite
Zack
the
Snyder
journey.
haters.
And Zack Snyder haters.
So,
But we finally got to see Zack Snyder's original vision for his Justice League film. And before we kind of go into the minutia, I want to know your thoughts, because I know you love Man of Steel,
yes. Man of Steel, best DCEU film before this.
but you don't like Batman vs Superman.
No.
And you don't like most of the other DCEU movies.
Well, yeah.
You like Shazam,
I like Shazam.
but that's about it.
Yeah.
So out of the Zack Snyder movies, you're kind of 50-50.
Yeah.
And then Justice League, how did you feel about the 2017 Justice League?
That was complete garbage.
Okay.
I'm
So
throwing that out the window.
So I want to know your thoughts as someone who's kind of 50-50 on Zack Snyder in terms of DC movies.
Just for everybody. So
We're not doing
knows.
spoilers. We will, but to start off, we're doing non-spoiler.
And me and Wade have not discussed this yet.
We have not. We don't know each other's thoughts.
So
So this will be interesting. That's why I want to know yours first.
okay. So initially, like the first 2 hours, I want to say I was like, this isn't doing it for me so far. All right. The last 2
It's
hours.
a long time.
I know. The last 2 hours, I was like, I'm getting into this. All right, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. Overall, I think it's a good movie.
Okay.
For sure, an upgrade over Joss Whedon's. For sure. 100%. 100,000%. Is it a great movie? I'm going to have to sit on that. I don't know. I'm going to say, as of right now, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's a good movie. It's not bad, for sure. I definitely rewatch it. But it's not great for me yet. I'm going to have to sit on it for a little bit. But that's my overall, like, not going into detail or anything. What about you? How'd you initially react?
I went into this kind of with two minds. I was kind of watching the movie with two different kind of brains going on. I was watching it with like my DC fan brain, my Zack Snyder fandom brain, like trying to connect everything to Batman vs Superman and whatever. And I was also kind of viewing it from a critical standpoint,
a movie
like
critique.
I view like every other film. And from a movie perspective, from a critical film perspective, I'll say it's good.
Okay.
From a DC fanboy perspective, it's the best goddamn thing ever made.
See, and I knew going into this, I was like, you know what? Wade's probably going to enjoy a lot of this.
Well, much like you, it took me a while to kind of get going.
Yes.
Because the first couple hours is kind of slow.
I was just like, ugh.
And I understand that some of that stuff you kind of needed, but I still think he could have left some of it out.
Yes.
And you could still kind of, like, because the story is it's sort of the same plot from Justice League 2017
I'm
a little
gonna
bit.
flat out honest. I think it's the same exact plot. I don't think
The
there's any
plot-
I don't think there's any difference.
The plot's the same. Steppenwolf is coming to Earth. They got to stop him. Mother Boxes. Team come together. We got to bring back Superman.
Yeah.
That's the general plot. But this one adds a lot more context to things.
Yes. I think it does a lot better character-wise for a lot of
Oh,
characters.
definitely. It gives every and I was shocked that it gives every character kind of an arc in a way. Like every single character has something to do. They have their own little story going on. They have their complete arc throughout the whole movie. All of them, except for maybe Batman.
I was
Batman
literally
didn't really need one.
I was literally gonna say, and you may disagree with me on this. I think the character they left out the most was Batman. I feel like he didn't really do much in this movie.
I think so, but at the same time that's fair because Batman's always been kind of out of place in like Justice League stories. He's always kind of the one who makes the plan. Then he always just kind of
he's the weakest
just
one
there
out of in terms of fighting.
But I do like that he was kind of leading the charge, and he was coming up with plans, and he was like, all right, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna blah 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 blah. He didn't really need to do a whole lot. I think he was kind of the Iron Man of the group, where he was just, we're gonna do this thing, and if that fucks up, we have a backup plan, and we're gonna do this, and like all this stuff. So that's fine. I do think that this was a better interpretation of Batman than the 2017 one.
Oh, the
where they cut out all the
2017
jokes.
Justice League. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
they cut out all the stupid jokes. There were still some things that he said in this that I wasn't
you felt
super
off
cool
with.
with. I was like, Batman wouldn't say he's rich. Like he would go, look at my fucking car, you jackass. Of course I'm rich, you know that. But that was really like the only thing where I was like, you could have left that out. Like we didn't really need that. Otherwise, he was fucking on point. He was Ben Affleck isn't like an amazing actor. But for some reason with Batman, that is the only role I've ever seen him in where he just kind of disappears. I don't see Ben Affleck, I see Batman.
I think Ben Affleck's a good actor.
He's fine. If you give him the right roles, he's really good. But
Good
I've
Will
never
Hunting?
when I watch Good Will Hunting or when I watch like Gone Girl or whatever, he's just Ben Affleck. Like I never see the character. Batman is like
So
the
he's
only,
he's like The Rock for you. Like he's just always...
sort of, yeah. He's always just Ben Affleck. Like he's good in some stuff, but with Batman, it seems like he's going the extra mile to like, I'm gonna fucking beat Batman.
Also, it might be the mindset of if I don't do well in this, people will riot. In the
Yeah,
streets.
everybody remembers Daredevil.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the cast? Do you think they were better? They were worse? They were about the same?
I think they were better, especially since they got more. Everybody got more screen time, obviously, because it's double the length of the original or the 2017 one. I wouldn't say the original because that's not his, but
Yeah, this is technically the original,
Yeah.
even though it came out after.
there was a lot. I mean, I knew going in that there was going to be a lot of stuff that I had already seen, but there was just a lot more that I thought that I was like, I've seen all this. I feel like a lot of this, but it also it added moments that just made it a little better. Like there's a couple things that they kept in, or I guess reshot or whatever, that just made it flow better and make more sense. Whereas the 2017 version, you felt lost at times in the 2017 version. And there was a lot of things that they added to the 2017 version that's just like, why? Why is this?
There's a lot of stuff in the 2017 version that relies a lot on assumptions.
Yes.
Like there's one thing about, I remember when Batman vs Superman came out, everyone was like, oh well, like I have to know what all of this stuff is. Like if I read the comics, like I should just be able to go into a movie and know what the hell's going on. Justice League 2017 felt like that, where they didn't bother to explain what the hell mother boxes were. In this, they explain what mother boxes are, why Steppenwolf wants them, like what the relevance is to the story.
I did feel like they explained it late in the game, though.
They did. they explained it like 2 hours in.
Yeah.
But they did explain it. I thought the cast was better than in the 2017 one. I don't know if it was just the general tone of the movie.
Is there anybody who had a major upgrade for you? Because there's one person I think.
There's one person, and I was about to touch on this, that they've been in 4 movies so far in the DCEU. This is the first time I've looked at Gal Gadot and went, that's Wonder Woman.
Honestly,
out of the 4 movies she's been in, this is the first time I was like, that, you fucking nailed it.
I was going to say Ray Fisher was way better.
Ray Fisher was really good too.
In this.
He was really good.
And I think Ezra Miller toned down is a lot better.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there was definitely still a little bit of like, all right, tone it down a little bit, but
no, I think
he's not.
I think it was good. Honestly,
there was some stuff where I was like, bring it, like you're here, bring it down like a little bit. But
2017 version, he was up there.
That whole rant about brunch is gone, which is good. And he definitely plays it a little bit more like Barry Allen, because in Joss Whedon's he acted a little bit more like Wally West, and I was like, this is odd. In this, he feels a little bit more like Barry Allen, and he has an arc. And they give him a backstory, and they like give him like he has a reason to exist in this movie. He's not just here because we need a Justice League movie. Like I actually cared about him. Same thing with Aquaman. Aquaman had some shit going on where I was like, I want to know this. Like I want to see this. I want to see a movie about this. Like this is interesting. But Gal Gadot for me was the standout. She was the one where her acting is still a little iffy. She needs to work on that still. But
I don't see the acting issues personally.
There's some things where I'm just learn a little bit more about acting before jump into being an actor. But like there were moments where I was like, this is fucking Wonder Woman. The scene when she's going in and she's like stopping all those dudes from, I guess, robbing that place or whatever.
Yeah.
That was fucking Wonder Woman. She showed up, she was like, look, I ain't fucking around no more. You're all dead. You're all dead. How do you feel about the overall like look and style of this movie?
There were some scenes where I'm like that looks a little choppy, but other than that,
What do you mean choppy?
like it's
Effects-wise?
just yeah, I was just like like I can see some holes in this. Overall though, especially Steppenwolf look way better in terms of effects wise. Overall though, it feels like a Zack Snyder film. That's for sure.
Did you find the 4:3 ratio distracting at all?
Initially, I was like, this is weird. But like 20 minutes in, I didn't even notice, honestly. Like, when it first started, I was like, this is odd. I don't watch movies like this usually, so I'm just like, this is weird. How did you feel about it?
I mean, I'm a little bit more used to the 4:3 thing just because I watch a lot of old black and white movies and they're usually 4:3. I think it's a weird choice, and I still don't really know how I feel about it. I think that's an odd thing because this movie's like an epic.
Is there any reason why he did it, or did he just do it?
That's apparently he said in interviews that's like proper IMAX format. It's just like a square, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true because he didn't shoot it with IMAX cameras. So I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? I think he was just kind of getting his artsy fartsy pretentiousness on, which is fine. I get it. If I was in his footsteps, I'd do the same thing.
I'm just thinking off the top. Maybe it cut the effects budget in half because he didn't have as much screen.
It might have been. It might have been. Just be honest with us, Zack Snyder. Just I'll appreciate that. I like it and I don't like it just because I don't like it because I think with a movie like this especially, you want to see the full screen just because you want to see as much as possible in a big like it having a full screen makes it feel a little bit more epic, but at the same time having the 4:3 ratio kind of made it feel a little bit more personal. It kind of made it feel like it's an epic, but you're kind of in it with the characters a little bit.
I don't know. I think the 4:3 made it a little less grand. Like when I'm watching Endgame, I'm thinking like, boom, takes up the whole screen.
It did a little bit.
I mean, not that it wasn't like, you know, an epic like you said, but it felt like it was smaller.
Yeah, and I think that was his intent because he's always said that he wanted Justice League to be kind of like a personal story. So maybe that was his intention from the start. But it does feel a little weird when you watch something like Endgame or Infinity War and you get most. I mean, those movies are still cropped at the top and bottom, but you get a big chunk of the screen. And then with this, you just get a little box.
I couldn't imagine watching this in theaters though.
They would not allow that.
That would be strange.
They would not allow any of this movie to be playing in theaters. And that's another thing. Do you think that this movie could work if it was cut down? Do you think that like 4 hours it needed to be 4 hours exactly?
I think no. I most definitely don't think it needed to be 4 hours. Like you said, there was a lot of things I think I was like, do you need this? Like, is this necessary? There's a lot of slow-mo that doesn't need to be slow-mo.
This definitely, out of all the DC movies he's made, felt the most Zack Snyder. Where he's just like, I'm just going to put it in slow-mo for no fucking reason. And I'm like, if you put that in real time, you could have cut down on the runtime a little bit.
You could probably cut like an hour. It could have been 3 hours probably.
I think you could have cut at least 30
There are
minutes.
moments, though, where I think you need slow-mo. But there's a lot where I'm just like,
he has a lot of slow-mo.
Do you need this? Like,
I think you could have cut 30 minutes of the movie.
Just from slow-mo?
Well, I mean, that is a big chunk of the movie. But just like in general, I think you could have maybe made it 3.5 hours. I don't think necessarily it needed to be 4 hours. I think you could still kind of trim the fat on some of this stuff. And it still kind of worked.
I think you could play this as the 4 hour length. But I think it would definitely have an intermission.
Oh yeah,
if it was,
it would have to, yeah.
If it was in theaters, because I know they were like, oh, maybe Endgame should have.
And I think when it's going to when they're doing the limited IMAX thing, I think they are putting an intermission in.
So is the IMAX gonna be 4:3?
Yeah,
that's
the movie. That's how it's shot. It's very weird.
I couldn't imagine watching that on the big ass screen.
Well, I've never actually like seen like I don't know like the fancy schmancy like Hollywood IMAX screens. I don't know if they are like just like a cube. I doubt it because we've seen IMAX movies.
Yeah,
we saw Tenet.
And
it was just like a normal screen. So I don't know what the hell Zack Snyder's talking about. I don't know if he knows something I don't. He probably might because he's in the industry.
He's in the industry.
So he might know exactly what the fuck he's talking about. How did you feel about the music? Because I heard going in that there was some weird music choices, and I have to agree with a lot of people.
There was
some weird music choices.
There was one piece of music that just kept popping up. I'm just like, I was just like, what is this?
It's a little weird.
This just feels off. Like it doesn't feel right. There's a lot of music though that I was like, like
the Wonder Woman theme. They restored it. They didn't fuck it up like they did in the 2017 version.
Wonder Woman theme, and then bringing the Man of Steel theme back. I was like,
man, they played that like 7 times, and every time I was like, fucking. That should have just been the entire score. That fucking piece of music is incredible.
So the Wonder Woman theme, the Man of Steel theme, and then there's I don't know what theme. I guess the Justice League theme. But when they were like all gearing up, that music was fucking awesome. Yeah. I thought that was badass.
That was a good song.
But other than that, it's kind of just whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for the most part, I think maybe Batman vs Superman has a better score overall, just because there's a little bit more memorable pieces of music in there. This one was kind of reusing some of the score from those movies, and then the new stuff was kind of just like, all right, it's there. I did notice some points when the sound would just cut out, and then he'd just play a song. I was like, he probably did that because he didn't want to fucking put sound effects all throughout this whole fucking thing, like the Flash's introduction and stuff. I was like, because it just cuts and it starts playing a song, and I was like, he probably did that because he's like, I'm not putting sound effects in every little thing. It's gonna take 10 years, which is fine. How did you feel about the kind of introductions to these characters? Because some of them still have the same introductions that the 2017 version had, but we have some new ones.
Yeah, I think they work a lot better. Because, I mean, the 2017 one, you're just kind of just thrown in, it feels like. There's not really much introduction to characters, especially, like, Batman characters we've already seen. They're just like, oh, yeah, there he is. He's there. You've seen, you know. Yeah. This one, they kind of, like you said, it takes a bit for this to get going.
It does. It's got a bit of a slow burn.
And I feel like maybe that's because Zack Snyder was like, okay, it's been a while since people have seen probably BVS. For, like, the, like, normal moviegoers, it's maybe been a while. He's like, all right, let me ease them back into this world.
Well, I mean, but it originally was supposed to come out a year after.
But still.
So.
Maybe he slowed it. Maybe that's why he had all the slow-mo. I don't know. Like, slow it down.
Slow it down.
Slow it down.
Possibly.
Put the brakes on it. I don't know. I thought the introductions were good. I still think the first 2 hours could be better, personally. Maybe.
Was it just too much, like, exposition? Was it just too slow? Like, what?
It wasn't. I don't even know if it was too much exposition, honestly. I just felt like it was just rehashing a lot of stuff that we already knew. Maybe that's because maybe not seeing the 2017 version would make me think that it would have been better. But seeing the
there were definitely moments in this where I was like, oh, that's not from the 2017 version. This is from the, like, I was definitely like picking out scenes, and I was like, oh, we've seen this, we've seen that, we've seen.
And I feel like the first 2 hours, a lot of it was okay. I've already seen this.
A lot of it was stuff we've seen, but just kind of extended.
Yeah.
And like redone and like done a little.
And
then
then it throw a new scene in there. I'm like, oh yeah, and then it go back, and I'm just like, oh come on,
a little bit, yeah.
How did you? I had this question while I was watching. How did you feel about the Lois Lane stuff?
I thought it was fine
because she's in this a lot more than she is in 2017.
She's barely in the 2017. Yeah, she's not really given a whole lot to do. She's not really like a main character.
Same issue with BVS.
But BVS, they gave her a little too much though. They made her like a core character for the plot. But I did like when Superman initially. This isn't a spoiler because everyone's seen Justice League. When Superman comes back,
it's called Justice League. Superman's gonna be.
You've seen the trailers. You know what the fuck is going on, right? In the 2017 version, I felt fucking nothing. In this, I actually kind of felt like when he came back. I was like, oh shit, this is a big deal. Like because of how everyone was talking about him early on in the movie, and like Amy Adams' performance when she was talking with Martha Kent, she I believed that like she's actually like mourning the death of her dead boyfriend, and I was actually like, oh shit, like there's some emotion here. That's fucking cool. That wasn't in the 2017 one, because in the 2017 one they had a conversation about some bullshit.
I don't even remember what it was.
It was dumb. And she was like, oh, you're the hungriest young lady I've ever met. Oh, I mean thirstiest. It was like a stupid joke.
Yeah. That's Josh Whedon for you.
Yeah, it was stupid. So I actually like felt some kind of emotion for Superman coming back. How do you feel about the black suit?
I like it. I don't know why because he chose
it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Because there's no rhyme or reason for him really using it.
No, he just like, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling.
Because in the comics, there's like a purpose for it. It's like his rejuvenation, like hibernation suit, and he comes out of hibernation and he's just wearing this fucking suit. In this, he's looking through all this shit. And
he's like going through his wardrobe. He's like, no, that one.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Because he passes the blue suit.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, why don't you just get the fucking blue suit? I don't know. It's a little weird that like he's just wearing all black.
Was it blue initially, and they re-colored?
Zack Snyder talked about this. He said that the studio was very much against doing the black suit. So he was like, all right, I'll do a compromise. I'll shoot the blue suit, and then in post we'll just color it black.
So he lied to him. He's like, we want to do the black suit, and then he did it.
No, he told them that's what he was going to do. But they, for some reason, they didn't want to make a black suit because they wanted an option if they wanted to, like, if it worked, then we can do it.
Do what Endgame did and just CG all their suits. That way you can just change it whenever you want.
I mean, that's what he did.
I know that's what he did.
That's what he did. And then that's why in the Whedon cut we don't see it at all.
It's strange.
It's very weird. I don't know why.
That's a weird thing.
It's very weird, but at least we got it. So I think it looks good. It would have been nice to see Superman in his blue and red suit by the end.
I thought he was.
I think the ending.
I thought he was gonna have it, but
just, like one shot of him just in it, like that would have been kind of cool. But
he just wearing the black suit.
It's fine. There's a lot less Superman in this than I thought.
Yeah. You told me like going in, he doesn't show up till like 2 hour mark. He probably doesn't show up till like 2.5 hours.
Probably, yeah.
And then when he does show up, he just leaves.
He leaves. He's like getting his memory back.
Yeah.
And everything, which is fine.
Which is what happens in the 2017 one.
Yeah, it's just now it's a little slower. It's a little bit more context, everything, and it actually makes sense now. That whole fight scene that he has with the Justice League, because before it was like, why does he remember Batman, but not anyone else? Like he doesn't remember Wonder Woman. He kind of remembers Lois a little bit, but here it's like, oh, he doesn't remember anyone except Lois.
Yeah,
which makes sense. And he's just like, fuck you, Batman. Like, I don't care.
He probably just like, that's a demon right there.
He sees this lone fuck standing by himself. He's like, that guy's important. That guy's up to some shit. I gotta take his ass out. So it's cool. And no mustache. No mustache. Superman.
Or if it was, they fixed it.
No, he said they didn't use any Whedon stuff, which is cool. And then we have to talk about the added stuff, the added scene that Zack Snyder
the end
put in. Yeah, it's not really a spoiler, is it?
I'd say it's a pretty big spoiler.
We can talk about that in spoilers.
Well, we'll say spoilers.
So overall thoughts. Do you think that all of the talk and all of the hatred and the constant fighting for this movie, do you think it was worth it? Everything that we've been like doing over the last 4 years, everybody yelling at each other.
I mean, was the hype worth it? Maybe. It's maybe. It's definitely it's not Infinity War in terms of like an epic.
I will agree that Infinity War is a better film.
Yeah. I'd say it's on par with the first Avengers in terms of like as is a good like starting out superhero team up movie. It was definitely worth the fight. I'm glad I saw it. Let's just say that.
Okay.
I'm glad I got to see it because if I would have just never seen it and I just saw the 2017 version, I would have just felt empty. I'd be like,
So you're glad that Zack Snyder got to actually...
I'm glad I got to see it. I probably would have paid to see it in theaters if it was in theaters, even if it was 4x3, whatever. But cause I had nothing else going on, so I might as well go see it. But
there's a lot of people out there that's like, oh, it's the same fucking movie.
Yeah.
Whatever. Which I don't understand why people care so much.
And honestly, I could see a lot of people going in to watch this and they're like, this is the same movie. Or thinking a lot of it's the same. Because a lot of it is similar.
The plot's pretty much the same.
There's a lot of scenes.
The villain's much better.
There's a lot of scenes that were used. The villain, I'm going to disagree with you on that one.
You don't think Steppenwolf was any better?
I thought Steppenwolf was the same generic fuck.
You don't think he was any better than the 2017?
He's a little better.
I think he was much better.
But he's still just like a whatever villain.
That's Steppenwolf. Like that's what a Steppenwolf has always been. But I there were so many scenes in the movie where I got like Kingpin vibes off of him a little bit. He's not as good as Kingpin, but there were moments where I was like, I can see the desperation in this character that he's doing his fucking all to like not fuck up, like because he knows if he fucks up he's dead. Like I could see that in this version. I couldn't.
The only thing he's done in terms of like making me think anything is just like, oh, Darkseid's a better version of him. That's all.
Darkseid sucks always.
That's all I could think of.
I'm glad that Zack Snyder at least was like, let's give Steppenwolf some sort of motive and emotion because he's the main
I still didn't like Steppenwolf on.
I liked him more.
He was just a punching bag. That's all he was.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what most of these villains are. But I like this one a little bit more because he is a little bit more.
He's no Loki or Thanos.
He's nowhere near Thanos. I'm not trying to say that this is DC's Thanos. Thanos is top tier. But comparing it to the 2017 one, this is like this is Thanos compared to that one. Like I at least felt some kind of emotion towards that character.
Honestly, I like Ultron better than
I don't know about that. Ultron was kind of stupid.
Ultron had some cool lines. At least.
Oh, cool.
had
Yeah, he said some cool
lines.
things. Cool.
Steppenwolf didn't even have any cool lines.
He made a city fly in the sky.
His voice was a little weird.
His voice was kind of hard to understand because
Yeah.
they like put a filter over it. And I was like, "What are you saying? You're kind of mumbling.
He speaks slower.
You sound like Jeff Bridges right now." But yeah, I thought overall, like again, removing my fandom from it, I thought it was fine. It was a good movie.
That's where I'm at. I think it was a good movie.
Fandom intact, it's the best fucking thing I've ever seen.
And I don't have the DC fandom that you do for sure. But in terms of just a good movie, I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's great. It's definitely better than BVS.
I wouldn't say it's great.
I saw some reviews of people and people were like, "This is the best goddamn thing."
Well,
ever.
yeah, there's the Snyder cult who they knew going in that this is like the best fucking thing they're ever gonna watch ever.
Is this better than BVS for you?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not for me.
I still think Man of Steel is
Man of Steel is top tier.
the best.
I think this is probably right under BVS for me. Just because BVS did a little bit more, and the characters are a little bit more. They have a little bit more kind of depth to them because it's kind of just focusing on Batman and Superman. This one, the characters do have depth a little bit, but it's more of just we gotta stop Steppenwolf from doing a thing. BVS had a little bit more nuance to some of the characters, and it's shorter.
I mean, the extended cut is just a little bit shorter.
3 hours. There's an extra hour that's not in it.
But definitely my ranking is Man of Steel, Justice League, and then
That's fair. I can see that.
BVS.
I can see that.
Just because I don't like BVS.
I mean, over time, we'll see how it ranks on my thing. It could get better. It could beat BVS if I watch it a million times like I'm going to. It could.
You got plenty your day around watching this, that's for sure.
But, I mean, I can watch it in parts because I know what happens.
How did you feel about the parts? We didn't talk about that.
I thought it was fine. It was a little unnecessary. You could have just played the movie all the way through.
Yeah.
I understand why he did it because he wanted to give people breaks and everything. And that's fine. But I think you could have just... here's the movie.
Would you have been mad if they released it a week-to-week thing?
Yes, I don't think it would have worked as a week-to-week thing. Because we don't see Batman in his Batman suit until Chapter 4. So you'd have to wait 4 weeks before you'd actually see anyone in their suits.
No,
doing
you
shit.
see him at the beginning for a little bit.
Do we?
Yeah, when they're rehashing what happened in
sure.
BVS.
But we see like a shot of him and he's like, oh, Batman. He didn't do anything up until Chapter 4.
Honestly, he doesn't do much in the movie anyway.
He doesn't, but if you released it week to week, everyone would be like, all right, there's not really much going on. You're just kind of setting everything up. And then once we would get to parts 4, 5, and 6, people would be like, oh, this is shit. But you'd have to wait 5 weeks to get to that point. So I think it's smart that they were just like, we're just going to release it as a thing. And also, they probably couldn't have released it as a miniseries anyway because contracts and stuff. That would have made everything far more complicated. I am a little disappointed that there wasn't any more J.K. Simmons. He's honestly in this less than the 2017 version. Because there's, I think, like a couple more scenes in the 2017 version.
No, I think they had... There's a whole new scene with him in this compared to the 2017 one.
Is there?
Yeah.
There's a scene with them on the rooftop. There's a scene with him in Gotham PD. Both of those scenes were in...
The PD one wasn't in...
It wasn't. They were shorter.
Okay, there you go. You got a longer scene with him.
Sure. I wanted more.
What is he gonna do?
I want him... Hey, Batman. Why are you being such a fuck?
No, when Zack Snyder was making this, I'm sure he's alright. Well, Ben Affleck's gonna make his Batman movie, so I don't need to do as much.
Definitely. If it's announced tomorrow, and it's not gonna be, but if it's announced tomorrow that, oh shit, WB signed Zack Snyder for 2 more Justice League movies, would you be okay with that? Or do you think it's necessary? Do you want to see those?
Be interested. Because I remember Zack Snyder saying this movie ends on a cliffhanger. I don't really feel like it does.
It sort of does, but not really.
I don't think it does, really.
I think what he meant by cliffhanger is just kind of teases for the
There
thing.
were
Because it's not really like a like, what the fuck? Like, it's not like a massive...
Infinity War was a cliffhanger.
Infinity War was kind of a cliffhanger, yeah, where everyone's just dead.
It's like,
what happened?
What?
This doesn't... I'm glad that... Because there was a point, and we'll talk about it in spoilers because it's kind of spoilery, but there was a point where I was like, don't end on this scene. If this ends on a fucking cliff, I'm going to be pissed. And it doesn't, thankfully. My rage was amping up more and more as the scene went on. I was like, do not end it here. And thankfully they didn't, which is good.
I'd be definitely interested in at least one more. I don't know if a third one. It just depend on how the second one went. If you made the second one another 4 hours,
He probably would.
I don't know how I feel about
Because
that.
I think because Zack Snyder's known for making long movies. I think if they did announce that he was doing more, they would put him on HBO Max, and he'd have free reign to do whatever the fuck he wanted. And he would definitely make them 4 or 5 hours long.
We're not getting another one.
We're not. I don't think we are.
At least
and he said.
At least under Zack Snyder, we're not getting another one.
Yeah. And I don't think we are, and he's talked about it.
I mean, you never know. Warner Brothers could be like, hey, we'll just get a new director.
I think they messed up by initially getting rid of him, because I'm shocked at the amount of people who were actually liking this movie. Like critics, like people that I watch who poo-poo on Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman, who actually watched this and was like, it's pretty solid. I am shocked.
I mean, I poop on BVS all the time.
Yeah, I am shocked at the amount of people who actually came out of this and was like, it's not like amazing, but it's pretty good.
That's how I'm sitting right now. It's not amazing, but I
agree.
And I think it's definitely worth a watch at least once.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Once through. You don't have to watch it all the way through if you don't want to. It's broken up into parts if you want to take a 15-minute break or whatever.
Once all the way through, at least.
But some people can't hold their bladders, right?
Hold your fucking bladder. Don't drink anything, all right? Hold your fucking bladder for 4 hours.
But you want to get into spoilers or anything else you want to say?
I think it's a good movie. I think it's good.
You recommend to watch?
I would recommend to watch it. I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray. I'm gonna watch the black and white version.
I'm not gonna watch the black and white.
I'm gonna watch this movie like 8 times.
Because I don't care about black and white movies.
I might not watch the whole thing in black and white, but I'm gonna check it out just to see like if it looks any different. Just because
it doesn't. It looks the same in black and white.
Fuck you.
All right, let's get into spoilers.
Let's get into the spoilers. What do you want to spoil first?
I don't want to spoil the end first. I feel like we should save that for the end. Is there anything in the first 2 hours that's like spoilerly? I guess the first thing we can talk about is the new Flash stuff, because that's what's sticking out in my head. Do you think it's necessary, that whole scene with him saving that one girl is necessary? I think that could have been cut.
I think at the time it was necessary because they were setting up a universe and they were setting up him and Iris and probably in his other movie. I think as just like a standalone thing, probably not. I think you could have introduced him in other ways and introduced his powers in another way. I think it's a neat scene. It's nowhere near like the Quicksilver scenes from X-Men or anything, but it's a nice little scene for Flash, I think.
Yeah. I like the cyborg football stuff. I like that.
That stuff was great. I think that they really fucked up by just cutting out all cyborg stuff. I think that he was like he was the emotional center of the movie, and I actually cared when like him and Silas were going through some shit, and they actually made me somehow care about Cyborg. I cared about Cyborg throughout this, and I was like, oh shit.
Compared to the 2017 one.
Yeah, when you go, I'm a man and I'm mopey and sad. And this one, he's not really like...
He's mopey initially.
He starts off a little mopey, but then he kind of just gets over it. And he's like, oh yeah, I am this fucking thing, and I can do amazing things.
I got shit to do.
Which is like, that's fucking really cool, because he could have just made him mopey for most of the movie. But no, he's like, I can do these cool things.
And I like how... his dad, what's his dad's name?
Silas. Miles Dyson.
I like how he's just like, you could just destroy humanity if you wanted.
Yeah, that was weird. There's a line when Cyborg's like discovering all the shit he can do. His dad goes, you could launch every nuke in the world if you wanted, just by like a thought.
And he goes, or you couldn't.
And I'm like, this motherfucker, like, there's no way he can control all of this stuff just like that. I mean, like, I'd be fucking worried as hell.
If he's like Ultron and he's just connected to everything, then yeah, he could.
Yeah, but like, what if he just sneezes wrong and then, the nuke's
I think he's a little more intelligent than that.
He can just control everything, just like that.
Does he sneeze?
He's a man a little bit. He's got a face. He's got a nose.
But yeah, I mean, if like I said, if he's like Ultron,
I'd be terrified.
And he's just in the internet and can control everything with his mind. Yeah, sure, he could do that.
Yeah,
there's nothing that he.
But I think that was kind of a neat thing where he's like, part of your responsibility of having these powers is
not doing
all the fucked up shit that you could do with these powers, and that's kind of ultimately Cyborg's arc.
But isn't there a version of him that turns evil at one point? So
yeah, there's what's his name, Grid or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not really him. It's like a virus that like gets in him and
so like
fucks him up.
If that ever happens,
But yeah, everyone's fucked. That boy's dead. But I actually really liked it, and it reminded me a lot of the Doom Patrol Cyborg, where it actually like made me care about both Silas and
it's most definitely not the Teen Titans Cyborg. If you're going in hoping that.
No.
It's definitely a different Cyborg.
There was no Booyah.
No Booyah.
They cut the Booyah.
They left in the you should probably move.
Yeah, which is fun. You should probably move. And he gets one of the fucks
There's 2
in the movie. There's 2 of them. He gets one of them.
Batman
Fuck
gets
the
other.
world. And then Batman gets the other one, which
He
is
deserves.
awesome. He deserves it. He deserves both of them. It was a little.
Is that
like,
why it got an R rating? Because it had 2.
There was some blood in there. There was a lot of blood.
There's blood on PG-13.
There was a lot, but there was a lot. We see someone get decapitated and their head smushed.
We see someone get decapitated in Endgame.
Do we see like fucking blood come out of it? Do we see their head squished and blood come out?
Oh, whose head got squished?
Steppenwolf.
His ear fell off.
No, he got his ear, and then Darkseid stepped on his head and squished it.
No, he didn't squish it. Just his ear.
And then like blood came out of it.
No.
And then he was throwing people up left and right against the walls, and there was blood and shit behind
That
it.
was pretty cool. I like that.
That was cool.
I like that. He sliced like a Atlantean in half.
I love that one scene when he's on the beach and he's interrogating the Atlanteans, and then one guy's like, "Fuck, you ain't gonna tell me." He just throws him. He's just like, "I'm gonna get this information. Like, I don't give a fuck." And he's just casually just like, "Here, give me the thing. Tell me where the thing is." And he finds out, and I'm like, "That's cool."
Yeah. Towards the beginning though, actually the very beginning, when Batman meets Aquaman in the little place, they start singing that song that played.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
It played for like a solid minute.
Yeah, it was like a minute
what?
and a half.
I was like,
this is
what,
weird.
is this gonna connect to something?
No.
I guess it does because the song shows up throughout the movie.
Is that the same song?
Yeah, that's the song those people were singing. That was,
okay.
that was the.
But there's no like thematic reason for
No,
it. It's
no.
just Zack Snyder thought it
just
sounded
weird.
cool and was like, "All right,
He's like, this is artistic.
this is art." And I was like, "All right, Zack, tone down the artsy fartsiness a little bit."
It just that piece of music just felt like it didn't fit.
And that scene, that's something again that you could have trimmed a little bit. That
Yeah.
scene when Aquaman, like he could have just left, and then Batman's like, "Oh, fuck, he's not coming."
Yeah, I like how I didn't know if this was a Josh thing or a Zack thing, but when Aquaman is just like, "Oh yeah, Bruce Wayne, you're Batman," in front of all
Yeah,
those
I
people.
noticed that too, because they do that later on when Superman comes back, and Batman's just blatantly calling him Clark.
Yeah.
in front of all these cops,
Yeah,
and I like, what the fuck, Zack?
secret identities aren't a thing.
Maybe he was gonna get rid of that at some point in the universe, but like it's a little weird that they're just Aquaman maybe like kind of makes sense because they're on an island and Aquaman wouldn't really.
You
give
could
a fuck.
argue that those people don't speak English,
Some of them probably didn't,
but we know at least some of them did.
Some of them
because
do,
some of them
yeah.
do speak English.
but it's still a little weird. Like if I was Batman, I'd be like, "You just call me that one more fucking time, you're dead."
It's like, you shut up.
I don't care how powerful you are. I'm gonna snap your fucking neck.
I'm gonna try at least.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna die trying. Right? And it's a little weird that Bruce then outed Superman later on. He's like, "Hey, Clark, stop it."
Granted, he probably was thinking he was about to die. He was like,
Sure, in the moment, I'd probably do the same thing, but I'm also not Batman. So Batman should have his shit together a little bit.
If there's one person he should be afraid of, it should be Superman. Just saying.
He's afraid of Superman.
I don't know. He usually doesn't show it, but in that moment, he did.
Batman doesn't fucking show anything.
But what else? What else? Is there anything else that happened in the first 2 hours that's not new though, compared to the 2017 one? Because the first 2 hours is basically just, here's all the characters.
Yeah, the first 2 hours is kind of just set up.
And we're gonna maybe start trying to get everybody together, but it doesn't. Everybody's just like, no, I don't want to join your club.
Yeah, it's Bruce going to Flash and everything. It's mostly just set up the first couple hours.
The 3 hour mark is when I think this is when we get to the backstory of like the mother boxes and stuff, and I think that is really good. The stuff where we go back in time and we see just Darkseid.
Yeah, we see Baby Uxas, which is Darkseid. That's him before he becomes Darkseid. That was fucking really cool.
That was good.
They made it longer because in the 2017 one
It was
they
just like a
shortened
flash.
and then they made it Steppenwolf instead. But in this, it's like a 20-minute fucking thing.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
It was fucking really cool.
I don't know. That's not Hercules. I don't know. It was Zeus. It was Zeus.
I think that was Zeus.
That dude
yeah.
was fucking jacked.
He was ripped to the.
Like I
fucking
thought
nose.
Henry Cavill was jacked, and I saw that guy. I was
that
like,
dude,
dang.
That dude makes Henry Cavill look like me.
I know. I was like, dang. That dude was
He's
jacked.
ripped.
And there was a Green Lantern that died.
There was a Green Lantern. I don't know that Green Lantern's name. He looked like a thin Kilowog.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was.
He died anyways.
He's dead.
So
So fuck him.
I like how Darkseid tried to take the ring.
Yeah, Darkseid, like the ring just kind of floated there. Then Darkseid was like, and then the ring floated away. Like, fuck.
It's like
That would be a hell of a story. Darkseid getting a Green Lantern.
he'd be
Fucking
unstoppable.
hell. He'd rule the whole galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like that scene.
It was a good scene.
I'm glad they extended it or
They didn't extend it.
They didn't cut
They
it.
just didn't cut it.
Yeah, I really like that stuff. I'm trying to think of what else happened in the midway. A lot of the stuff that's like new was at the end. I think.
Did you? Speaking of the mother box stuff, did you like that now you know what the fuck a mother box is?
I mean, I sure. I mean, I still don't fully know. I understand that, like, oh yeah, you can change matter with it.
It's pretty basic. It's a technology thing that can change matter.
Do they all do different things, or they all three do the same thing?
They all do the same thing. There's three of them, and if you put them together, then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. So they're not like, oh, this one does this, and this one does not like that.
No.
It's strange.
It's a little weird.
Like when they were explaining it, like I understood what they were saying. Like, oh yeah, you burn a house down, and then.
That was the best way they could have possibly explained what mother boxes were. I was shocked that they broke it down that simply, but it's like, oh yeah, fuck, that's what it does. Like that's a great explanation for like grandma. So grandma, it's like, oh okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Scientifically, it doesn't make sense, but
well, it's a fucking comic movie about demons and shit.
Yeah, I get it though.
Yeah.
This is what I didn't get. All right. Where the fuck did the anti-life equation come from?
I don't know.
I was so confused.
They kept bringing that up. Steppenwolf just comes up. He's like, "Hey, the anti-life equation's here."
I was just like, "Wait, what?"
I was like, did we see that?
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
Because he just touched the mother box and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know where it is. It's on Earth."
I don't know.
There's a moment where they used the exact line from Endgame, but I don't think it was as impactful.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if that. I don't know if they meant to do that or if it just like.
Well, they didn't.
Well, obviously they didn't mean to do that.
Came out first.
But when I heard it, I was just like, oh yeah, that's from Endgame. When Cyborg was like, let's go get this son of a bitch.
I noticed that too. I had a flashback.
I was like, Captain America.
I was like, oh, Captain America.
I was like, he did it way better though.
Cap did it better, I will say, because it's fucking Captain America.
Also, it's more impactful because Cap doesn't really cuss, and when he cusses, you're like, stuff is going down.
Shit's about to get real. Cyborg said "fuck the world" like 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
It's just kind of his language.
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about? What else besides before we get to like the end?
How do you feel about the reveal of a certain character?
Martian Manhunter. Mm-hmm. I thought that was where CG looked choppy.
It did a little bit,
especially when he was first revealed.
It did a little.
I thought that took away from that character moment a little bit with
the CG his reveal.
Him being Martha Kent.
Okay.
I was just like, because I thought that was Martha Kent and Lois Lane. I was like, oh, they're having a little moment together, but no, it was just.
I mean, I think the moment still works.
Does it?
It works for Lois because
it works for Lois
to Martha. The emotion's still there.
But she's also saying like, oh, I'm so proud of my son and all that. I'm like, and I felt
you gotta keep appearances. You can't be like, hey, I'm a fucking alien.
I know, but it's just like, oh well, that's ruined. It's not anything.
Sure, yeah. Martha Kent should have actually, I think, been in the movie a little bit more.
Yeah, because she shows up there and then towards the end, and that's it.
Yeah, but it makes sense for Martian Manhunter to go to Lois and be like, hey, get the fuck off your ass.
I guess.
Do some shit.
What was he doing?
He was there because Martian Manhunter is usually, before he reveals himself to everyone, he tries to get people to kind of do things on their own, and then when fucking shit just happens, when he comes out.
When stuff was going down at the end, he doesn't show up or nothing.
That's a little weird. That's a little weird. Maybe if like they fucked up, he would have showed up and been like, all right, I'm gonna fix everything. But because the Flash went and fixed it before.
How was he gonna know that was gonna happen?
He did, but he couldn't have gone there if the Flash fixed everything, because time. But if they fucked up initially and died or whatever, he would have been like, all right, I guess I gotta step up now. Martian Manhunter is kind of a dickhead.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what he does. He's kind of just like, I'm just gonna sit here for a while.
Oreos.
That's why he didn't show up in Man of Steel or
Batman
vs Superman. Probably because he was like, oh, they got it. Whatever.
I do like how it was that one guy that you called
Harry Lennox. I've been calling that shit for the longest time now.
I don't know how you knew that.
Because Martian Manhunter is usually black. And he usually has a dope fucking voice, and Harry Lennox is bold. So,
I guess.
And I just fucking took a swing, and I was just like, probably Martian Manhunter would be cool if he was.
No, I think you were more like, it'd be cool if that guy was Martian Manhunter. Then, yeah,
I'd be like, it would be fucking really cool if he was, and he is.
I remember years ago you telling me that, and I was just like, I don't know.
Which technically, it could just be Martian Manhunter pretending to be that guy. It's never confirmed that was him all along. But either way, it's the fucking actor. So
I'm gonna say that it is him.
I'm gonna say it just so I can be right.
Yeah. Because I guess we're skipping a little bit, but we'll go to the epilogue.
It's fucking spoilers. We can talk about
We're
whatever
going to the
we want.
epilogue now, and all that's basically just nightmare scenes. And it's just I'm just
Well,
like,
yeah, there's a general epilogue, and then
yeah. But I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, I want to see how like all these characters mesh with each other because they're all like different characters that we never see together type thing. It's like, okay, we're like I know Wonder Woman and Aquaman are dead because they showed that earlier. But it's like, what else has happened? I want to know what else has happened in this world.
they had a hint earlier on. There was like a weird moment when Cyborg like reached into the mother box. He got some kind of weird vision with Superman, and he was like, "Oh, I'm pissed because Lois is dead." So I assumed that like Darkseid probably killed Lois and then pretended it was like Batman or some shit, and then he's like, "Hey, come doing my shit. Come be on my side. And we can rule the galaxy or whatever."
If we get the anti-life equation, I can bring her back.
He'll pull his Darth Sidious and then lie about it.
Yeah.
That's probably honestly what he would do because that sounds like some dumb shit.
Because I don't understand why Superman would help him if he killed Lois.
There'd have to be a good fucking reason.
Right.
And it would probably be that.
Yeah. It'd be that, or like you said, he framed Batman to do it.
Yeah, he probably framed. That's probably what he'd do.
It's like, oh yeah, you see that symbol on the ground? That's my symbol, but
Batman killed everybody.
So like, you should go get him.
So kill him. How'd you feel about the Joker? Jared Leto's Joker.
He's the same.
It's weird. This is the most Jim Carrey the Joker has ever been. There are literal points where he sounds like. I was like, is this Jim Carrey? Did you bring in Jim Carrey to do some ADR on this?
He's still definitely.
Like, Batman, I'm here. Blah, blah, blah.
He's still definitely not.
You fucking Ace Ventura.
He's definitely not the best Joker.
No, I think this was kind of a nice bit of redemption, a little bit at least. That like he got to do it again and it isn't terrible, but it is very Jim Carrey-ish, which is a little weird.
Yeah,
it was cool to see him and Batfleck fucking talking to each other.
Yeah, because this is the first time they interacted with each other.
Suicide Squad fucked it up.
And it is confirmed that's the same Joker that killed Robin.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know, maybe it was a different Joker. Maybe,
Yeah, well, everyone thought that Joker was a Robin.
Oh.
Everyone thought that was Jason Todd, and then apparently it's not.
I didn't know that.
It would have been cool if it was fucking Jason Todd, but they fucked that up.
You can't do that in this movie.
Not here, but like in Suicide Squad, they could have did something like that. Or later on in like other movies.
Yeah.
Explain that. That would have been cool. Yeah, I thought it was neat. I like that we got to see Flash in his armor fucking thing. That was probably right before he was about to run to Batman vs Superman.
Maybe.
And I'm glad because there was a point during this nightmare scene where I was like, this feels like an ending. Don't end.
Well, you thought it was.
I thought it was just gonna like Superman shows up and his eyes glow and then it just cuts. And I was like, don't fucking end right now. And then it cuts and it's like, oh, it's a dream. I was like, okay, thank God. There's like an actual ending to this fucking movie.
Yeah, he just wakes up and Martian. I thought it was Superman. I mean, initially.
It kind of looked like Superman.
And I was just like, wait, why is Superman coming?
But it was Martian Manhunter being like, look, I've been sitting on my ass too long. I should probably help.
And the CG there looks a little better.
A little bit.
But it's still not like great.
I think that one was a little rushed, which probably was.
It was probably a reshoot. I think everything with Martian Manhunter was a reshoot.
Not the original reveal of him. That was originally supposed to be in there.
Let's talk about the final battle scene.
Final battle.
What'd you think? Compared to 2017, it's not red.
I mean, other than the color palette being red, it's kind of mostly the same.
I'm disappointed.
They cut out the Russian family, which is good.
Well, they had to because they said in the beginning of the movie that place was abandoned.
Yeah, which made far more sense.
Yeah.
Than just, why is there this small little Russian family living next to this giant like nuclear reactor thing? Like that's a little weird.
Got fertile soil.
This whole town just living over here. Like that's weird.
It's got fertile soil. I don't know.
Sure.
They're growing mushrooms.
Let's fucking get irradiated. Cool.
Nuclear reactors don't just leak radiation. That's not how that works.
Sure, but I still wouldn't want to live. Hey, let's move over next to this fucking nuclear reactor.
Let's live right next.
Let's live like our house is like right next to it, and there's gonna be giant bugs attacking us.
You said the same thing about the movie Godzilla. Though. They're living right next to the reactor too. Granted, they work at the reactor, and that's why they live there. But I think they didn't get enough cool scenes of Batman in the final battle scene.
It was honestly all the same, mostly all the same stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't have that stupid smile.
Yeah, thank God. He shows up, he's like, oh, Superman's back. I was like, fuck off, Batman. Batman doesn't smile. They took out that stupid line where he's like, I don't not like you. Yeah, they don't have anything like that, which is good.
How do you feel about his suit? I know it's the same, but
it looks fine. The goggles look dumb. They should have kept the goggles on.
It's a Watchman's thing.
Zack Snyder has a goggle fetish.
Mm-hmm.
Every fucking movie he makes
slow-mo.
has goggles. Goggles and slow-mo.
If you could put those two together,
Slow-mo goggles. Fuck, man. But I mean, the fight was cool. I actually liked that this time though. Everyone kind of had something to do. Because in the 2017 version, it's like, oh, they're all getting their ass kicked. Superman shows up and then just does everyone's job. Like, even when Superman shows up, they still kind of have a part to play.
Granted, it does kind of still happen.
No, they still all contribute.
Yeah,
somewhat.
They're all still getting their ass kicked till Superman gets there.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense. Because he's fucking Superman.
Flash is just running in circles.
Flash is running in circles because he's got to charge the thing, give him the power.
Shot.
And seeing the Speed Force was fucking cool.
Yeah.
That was cool as hell. And he was like, I'm going to fix all this shit.
That was the most, like, interesting thing to me was him.
I also thought the movie was going to end there, too.
Wait, they all died?
When Cyborg was like, oh shit, it's too late. And Batman's like, fuck. I thought it was just going to cut to black. And it was like, come watch Justice League 2. And I was like, don't fucking end it here. And then Barry Allen was like, we ain't ending here.
Not today.
Fix all this shit.
Not today.
That was cool.
I didn't think that when it initially blew up, I was like, is this how it's gonna end, like Infinity War type thing? Everybody's dead.
Everybody's dying.
Like, who's gonna save the world if everybody's dead?
Everybody's dead.
And then I thought, I was like, okay, this is just gonna end like the 2017 one. Like they just fixed it. It's just done. Like Cyborg just, he pulls him off and that's it. It's done.
I mean, yeah, that's
what happens. But
yeah, that's what I thought.
But they messed up initially.
Yeah, they fucked it up.
Yeah,
initially.
Why didn't Josh leave that in? Why would you cut that?
Because you can't have characters fuck up. You can't have characters have flaws anymore. They gotta be perfect, and we gotta have jokes, and we gotta have a Superman mustache. You can't have characters like actually fuck up and face consequences.
Do you think people are going to complain about not saving people in this movie like they did in the other ones?
Probably, just because. But it's like, the world's ending. Who are we gonna save? Like, we save people by not letting the villain win. So you can eat a dick. All right.
Also, there's no people around.
There's nobody like, oh man, we didn't have a scene where Superman saving a cat out of a tree. God fucking forbid, because that's important to.
Granted, there is one that I can remember where.
I mean, Flash saved someone.
Did he?
He saved a girl.
Oh yeah, but I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking when they were getting everybody out of all the captured people out, and like those rocks are falling.
They did save those people.
Yeah.
So there is some saving in here.
How come Flash couldn't get that one rock?
That's a little weird. He sees the thing coming. He's like, oh no. Shit! And I'm like, you're just gonna let him get smashed?
Run!
And then Cyborg shoots. And he goes, oh thank God. And I was like, run, you motherfucker!
You just broke 1,000 rocks, but that one made it through, and you're like, I can't get it.
That was weird.
It's too late. I guess they had to give Cyborg something to do.
I guess. I don't fucking know. It was cool seeing Ryan Choi. I knew he was in the movie, but I forgot.
Who is that guy?
He's the Atom.
Oh.
He's the Atom next to Ray Palmer. He was Ray Palmer's apprentice, and then in the comics, Ray Palmer went like subatomic.
That nanotech thing makes sense.
Yeah. In the comics, Ray Palmer went like subatomic, and then Ryan Choi's trying to like figure out a way to bring it back.
Well, I was just like, is he gonna make like an Iron Man suit, like a nanotech? So like that's what I was like. I don't know who this guy is.
Iron Man.
I don't know who this guy is.
He's Atom.
That makes sense.
You've set him up for other stuff.
That makes sense. That makes sense. How many do you think people are gonna be disappointed that we're not getting a sequel?
Oh, all the Snyder Cult people, yeah, definitely.
Do you think normal fans will be disappointed?
Normal fans, I think normal, like, are you talking about
the average moviegoer?
Average moviegoer probably doesn't even know what the fuck this movie is, and they're not gonna care either way.
If they watched it though,
if they watched it, they're probably like, all right, cool, it was Justice League. I honestly don't think anyone outside of like the comic book like movie fandom is gonna give a flying fuck about this movie.
Honestly, like if we probably won't ever get a sequel, and I can live with that.
I don't understand why Zack Snyder's afraid of like continuing his story in like a graphic novel. Like, just make a comic about what you were gonna do, or make an animated movie. Like, why the hell not?
It's not the same.
Who gives a shit? If you finish your story,
it's not the same.
Put it in a book.
Like if the MCU came out and was like, all right, we're gonna start making anime movies that are connected.
No, that's different.
Like,
because if like Joss Whedon had a vision and then they fired him and they fucked everything up and then they let him put out his original vision for Avengers, but he had like 4 other, like he had a big 4-movie arc or whatever, but they didn't let him make the other 4 movies. Like, just make those other 4 movies.
I think Zack Snyder's come out and said what he was going to do for the other 2, didn't he?
He did, yeah. We all know what's going to happen.
So,
but if people want to see him, I'm saying, like, why not just put him out in, like, a book? And then people can still have those stories. They just continued in a book.
maybe years from now when they redo the Justice League, they'll just reuse his ideas. Somebody will be like, hey, Zack, can I make your movies?
They probably will. They won't even ask him. They'll just remake them. And then Zack Snyder will be like, this looks oddly familiar.
They'd be like, well, you dumped all your crap on the internet. It's free to use.
You told everyone.
Yeah,
so.
it's free to use.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to add, though, before?
It's a good movie.
It's good. There you go. There's Wade's review.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
But I'm also biased because I'm a DC person.
As a non-DC person,
I think that was pretty fair.
No, yeah. There was nothing I completely.
I was like, this is the best goddamn thing ever because Batman's in it.
Yeah, that's no. I'm sure there's somebody.
If this movie sucked, I hope people know me well enough that, like, if this movie sucked, I would have ranted.
Hold on, before we go though, I do want you to throw in some clips from your initial review of Justice League and compare, because I do think
I was thinking about this earlier because I think I gave that one a positive review.
You did.
Didn't I?
You did.
It was fucking awesome. And I think that was kind of me being the DC fanboy.
Yes,
Just be like, oh, Superman's in it. And he's
it
like,
completely
oh, shit.
was.
Whoa,
because
cool.
I remember watching your review after I had seen it, because we didn't see the first one together.
No, we didn't.
And I was just like, what is that?
Yeah, and that was my initial. That was like right after I saw it.
Because I thought the initial one was bad right out the gate.
This movie made me feel things that I haven't felt since probably the first Avengers.
I was like, this is not good.
Yeah, it took me a while to be like, yeah, this is kind of bad. But that was me as like a butthurt DC fan. I was like, I don't want this to be bad, so I'm not gonna let it be bad.
So if you get a little feisty editing, throw some of those clips in there.
Because that is an embarrassing movie where I was like,
And if he doesn't, somebody go back and rewatch it.
Fucking excellent.
If you I'm sure there's somewhere in our podcast you've talked about Justice League randomly.
We did a ranking of the DC movies.
We did.
Where I talked about
yes,
it, and I shed on
I
it.
somebody should just put clips of those back to back and just look how much has changed in a year.
Look at this fucking hypocrite.
You're dead set on no, it's not a good movie. So.
No, it's barely a movie. It's a hodgepodge of ideas.
I wonder what that version of you in that video would say.
Oh, dude, if we saw this, that would have been my favorite movie of all time.
Probably. I can
Back
see
in 2017.
Yeah.
I was 19 when Justice League came out. I was a young little boy.
You didn't know shit.
I didn't know shit about shit. But I hope I've gained a reputation that, like, I'm pretty fair when it comes to stuff.
The only thing I say you're not fair about is anything Batman related, but
I'm pretty fair about that. Batman Forever and Batman and Robin suck.
But everybody says that.
Okay.
Even Batman fans.
Because they're bad.
So we'll see
movies.
We'll see when the Batman comes out.
The Batman is going to be interesting.
Imagine if I hate that movie and you love it. God, that's gonna be.
I mean, I'm gonna love it anyway, just because it's Batman. But like, if it's a shitty, again, two minds. I got the DC mind and then my film mind. DC mind is gonna love it because it's Batman. But if it sucks, if that movie sucks, I'm gonna let you know it sucks.
You'd be like, look, I liked this, but this was bad.
Yeah, like I like this movie, but it's a piece of shit. Like I hope I can look past my fandom and do that.
Because I still don't like BVS, and we still debate on it randomly every once in a while. Mm-hmm. But
I didn't like BVS when I first saw it too.
I still don't like it though. That's the thing.
That's fine.
You like it now. I still don't like
That's
it.
fine. It grew on me. I understood it as I watched it.
I understand. You saying I don't understand it?
No, well, you might not. But people like different things.
That's true.
You know, you like Thor Ragnarok. I think Thor Ragnarok's a dumb fucking movie.
I love Thor Ragnarok.
I don't think Thor Ragnarok's funny. That's fine.
That's
Exactly.
fine. You can
So I don't give a shit.
not like or like.
I'm also like, out of all the DC movies, I'd say probably more Marvel movies, but no one calls me a Marvel fanboy for that. No one's like, oh, you're just biased.
I don't think you're a
Marvel
DC fanboy. I think you're a Batman fanboy. That's what I think.
Well, yeah, obviously.
So,
but there's some bad Batman movies out there.
that's true. Yeah.
So. Oh, speaking of cops, fucking the one cop that Lois was bringing coffee to, he was Jimmy Olsen in the Christopher Reeve movies.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was also in the Whedon version, but for like a scene.
Didn't know that. Would have never connected that.
No, he wouldn't have. Nobody would have.
No.
He was also in Back to the Future. He was Marty McFly's brother.
Oh. Alright, there you go. There's our review.
Boom.
This guy's probably fought hundreds of thousands of other super beings on the other planets he's destroyed, right? And we have to assume he's won.
I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us. Not us united.
It was fucking excellent. I loved it.